Your skin looks amazing.
Well, it's my job. Let's hope so. Would you see a dentist with bad teeth? No.
I'm going to start us right off. Hi, everyone. This is the Art Beauty Podcast where we tell the real truth about the fake shit. My name is Amber, and today my fabulous and glowy co-host is Dr. Heather Rogers. She is a board-certified dermatologist and has her own line, Dr. Rogers, which is awesome. If you haven't tried it, you definitely want to check it out. Thank you so much for being on with me today.
Happy to be spending my Friday afternoon with you.
And by the way, your voice sounds so much better. We were going to do a podcast last week, but can you tell us a little bit about what's going on?
So we are in the midst of all the burning of Oregon, and I'm north of Oregon. And although there aren't fires in Washington, there's been a huge just burn, smoke, contamination, pollution, and Seattle's had some of the worst air in the world for the last week. And I got like some sniffles last Wednesday, and there was a scare because we're always worried about COVID. So everyone got tested, my son, his friend, me, everyone's negative. But then the bad air hit and I couldn't talk. And after seeing my 40 patients on Friday and supposed to be talking with you, Amber, I was done. So Amber kindly let me reschedule, and I slept 16 hours on Saturday. My daughter and I watched the new Mulan movie. We watched the new Little Women. Like, we had this great mom and daughter couch day, and I've been back in action ever since. And the weather is finally getting better up here. Our air is finally under 100 in the first time in like 9 days, meaning like it's raking of contamination. Anything over 150 is severely unhealthy, and we're finally getting under 100. So we're hoping by next week you can go outside and actually breathe.
It's crazy to think of everything that's going on. You know, on the East Coast here, we deal with like the nor'easters, and kind of now we're starting to get a little bit of the hurricanes here. It's certainly more and more, but we don't have to deal with fires. But I saw something that was like, maybe, was it in Washington where the sky was orange because of all the smoke?
Yeah, our sun is first of all, we all know we don't get much sun here, which is great if you're a dermatologist.
Right.
But, I haven't allowed my kids to go outside in a week. We have HEPA filters in every room at my office because of COVID, and HEPA, gets the virus particles out of the air. But I've now put HEPA filters in my house at home because every time you open the door, the particle get in from outside, and we don't have central air conditioning because in Washington and Seattle, it actually doesn't get hot. So we don't have central air conditioning. So there's really no way to purify the air. If you go on Amazon, all of the HEPA filters are sold out. Like, you actually can't buy any. I just bought one from Dyson that's being shipped out like directly from the company.
Oh my God, but it was a fortune too, right?
Yeah. Totally. And totally worth it. Not even gonna, Dyson makes beautiful things, and if you can afford to pay for them, I decided it was worth it. And I do have a voice, but at one point I was truly like carrying HEPA filters to and from work because I had to have them at my office, but I wanted my kids to have them in their bedroom. So, and there weren't any I could buy. So it's been exciting.
It sounds like it's been a busy time for you. It's funny. I have been on the other end of this. I've been like obsessed with organizing everything. I don't think I'm alone, but I went to the Container Store, and so much of their stuff is also sold out. It's weird. It's like, COVID happened, and there were so many, unfortunately, businesses that just tanked. But I mean, there have to be, if you are an organization, if you're in air filters right now, if you're making masks or PPE.
PPP is what we're asking for. PPE is what's being made. Yes. Amazon's had its best quarter for the last 2 quarters, right? Because no one's leaving. So it is one of these things where, and then like a lot of my patients are hairdressers, and like they are just suffering, right? Like they can't hair dry. They can't, like, no one wants to come in. Like, they're a cash pay business. Like, that has been devastating. And they're being asked, like, go to people's homes, and like all these people are asking things that they may or not be comfortable with. So I do feel really bad for that group of individuals.
I actually went yesterday and got my hair cut. And it's the first. So Ryan cut my hair for, I think 12 or 13 years, and that's not happening anymore. So I went to this woman and got it done. I'm really pleased with it, but she just told me how hard it is. Even in New York. In New York, they're blowing people out,
Yeah.
but they had to, put dividers between everybody, and the number of seats that we're taking out is just, it's tough.
Yeah, no, it's awful. And I'm right there with you. Like, I haven't bothered to go. So I am like,
Your hair
my
looks
hair
great,
goes
though.
down to my like past my breast, let's just say. There, as long as
Yeah.
it's been since I've been like over 25. But I do have an appointment, and at some point I will get there.
Oh, good for you. You know what? It does feel, all of these little steps do feel better. Even though I don't know, it makes you also realize, like, do I need to get my nails done every week? Do I need to like be worried about the 2 gray hairs on my head and dye my hair? Do I
No,
need Botox?
you
Yes.
don't. And like, this is actually
Botox, yes, you need Botox.
this is a great segue to what we're talking about, is that we live in a society where we have told ourselves, or we have been told, that we need to do all these things.
Right,
And we don't. You should do the things that feel good. You should do the
right,
things that make you feel better, that you feel like you're taking care of yourself. But
right.
there's a reason why toenail fungus is so common. And part of it is because we are getting too many procedures done to our feet. So there are these things where you have to realize that these things aren't benign. And like, one of my favorite studies that came out in the last 3 years was saying that something like 3% of people hurt themselves performing hair removal on their genitals.
On their genitals?
Yeah, like fundamentally, our obsession with not having pubic hair has led to 3% of individuals getting staph infections and ingrown hairs and burns and like these things. And so, like, let's think about this. Like, are these things necessary? Do we need 11 steps in our skincare? And we
Right.
don't. And
Right. I love that we're getting there. Wait. Before we get into the skincare, though, I do want to say the Intuition razor, which like they barely make anymore. I discovered that like 20 years ago, or maybe like, yeah, probably about 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And it's like the one that has the shaving cream in it.
Yeah.
It's the best for shaving down there.
Yeah.
I had everything lasered like a while ago, but it's like I haven't been to have any touch-ups or nothing. But like one swipe of that Intuition and it's smooth sailing. But on to skincare.
But it's true, like there's little things, and when you figure out your little thing, then it's not a risk, and then it's worth doing, right? But like, you have to figure out what your workarounds in, and this is one of the reasons about being over 40 is helpful, is you actually have had some time to figure out what works for you, be it for shape, be it for your skincare, be it for your hair. Like, you have some time to try and make some mistakes.
Right. I love you that you just said that. And by the way, I'm really happy that we got postponed a week, because today is our 101st episode, 101, and we are talking skincare 101.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's
See what
awesome.
I did there? So it's just the universe. Thank you. So yeah, today's topic, you are a practicing dermatologist. You also have a fabulous skincare line. But we were talking about it because, listen, I feel like I fall prey to everybody else. I get bombarded by emails from Sephora, from Ulta, from every crazy list that I'm on, and it's always like, I'm attracted by the new, bright, shiny thing. What's going on? What's the new technology? What's the new fancy ingredient? But at the end of the day, it's like, do I really need all this stuff? So I did want to ask you, when we are putting together a skincare routine. And sidebar, if nobody has heard the previous podcast I did with Dr. Rogers, I love her. I love her because she's not sponsored by any brand. And I believe that you just speak the truth. So what are the things, as a dermatologist, that you feel like are essential for a skincare regime?
Okay. So, great question. Thank you for all your kind words. Like, I'm an incredibly logical, scientific person. Like, I like to follow scientific data, and I like to follow also my sort of personal experience, but also just history. We as a race, evolved where we didn't have to wash our face. Like we survived for millions of years without all of this self-care. And then really at the turn of the 1800s and 1900s, soap started being advertised. So really up until then, we didn't bathe that much. We didn't do all of these different fancy steps. And that was actually the introduction of soap operas. Soap operas were television shows that were sponsored by a soap brand, and it made soap becoming something that was more and more sort of lucrative because it was sponsoring the show. The show was popular. People watched it. People used more soap. And then they started introducing different types of soap. So really all of this obsession with beauty and all of these different steps in self-care really were introduced at the beginning of the 1900s. And then guess what? It was a moneymaker. And so it just became more and more lucrative and more people wanted to get into the game. And so really for the last 150 years, we, the consumer, have been told we need these products. But based on what? Who's telling us that? Is it because there's data behind it, or is it because the person who wants you to buy it is telling you you need it? And that's where the consumer really has to feel emboldened to say, where am I getting this information? Is it true that this actually is going to help me, or is somebody trying to get me to buy something? And as you and I have talked a little bit before, I'm not against spending money on yourself. And if there's something that makes you feel good, go for it. But as the doctor who's going to tell you what you need, really, you need very few things. And I think we all have those friends, and it's usually a man in my life who does nothing to his skin and has beautiful skin. Right.
I was looking at my husband the other day, and he's a little bit younger than me, but not much. And I was like, our skin looks pretty much the same, but I've probably done, I mean, not even over exaggerating here because I work in this industry and I've had so many opportunities to try the hottest thing. But I mean, tens of thousands of dollars, if not, I mean, it could be 100. I'm embarrassed to say this, of procedures, of products. I mean, my husband used to say, because I would go into my bedroom at night and be like, I'm going on to put my creams. And he was like, your autobiography is going to be called Too Many Fucking Creams. Because I would go in and it was like 45 minutes later.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, what are you doing in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my husband's exactly the same way. And I do think it's men primarily, but they don't do anything. And then if you do something, if I make my husband wash his face, it gets out of whack. And all of a sudden he gets pimples and he hasn't had pimples in forever. So you can fundamentally go through your life and put absolutely nothing on your skin. The problem with that is that you will have premature aging from the sun. And so really what it comes down to is that we're living longer. And because we're living longer, we're getting exposed to more and more radiation. The ozone is dying. And fundamentally, applying sunscreen on a daily basis is the best thing you can do to slow the aging process, but also prevent you from getting skin cancer. So it helps with brown spots, it helps with wrinkles, but it also helps with not getting skin cancer. So I believe the most important step is putting sunscreen on every single day. The problem is if you do that, and if you use a product that I like, which means it has 10% zinc in it, zinc sits on the top layer of your skin. It is not absorbed into your body, which is an awesome thing, but it means you want to wash your face at the end of the day. Right. So really you have to do two things. You need to put your sunscreen on in the morning and you need to wash your face at the end of the day. By introducing washing your face, you have now messed up your skin's biome, right? Because you have pulled off those oils that moisturize your skin. So if you wash, then you have to moisturize, right? So this is the cycle that we get into as we introduce one product, it changes the way our skin behaves. And then you have to introduce another product to correct that. Those men, those individuals who do nothing, aren't messing up their biome at all. So they actually live in their beautiful equilibrium with a few more age spots than you and I have.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not really though, to be honest, not really.
Mine did, but I lasered them off.
Lucky man.
It is one of these things, right?
Lucky man.
Like at one point I was like, I get my hands on you once a year. Once a year I get my hands on you and he lets me do something.
I love how it's like something like most women I know, and actually, let's be honest, most men I know would be clawing to get into your office and get into your chair. And I love it's like, the ones who do, it's like, all right, So are there certain brands that you are fond of? Because you were like, there's one I like.
Oh my goodness. I love sunscreen. My handle on Instagram, my personal handle is SPF Lady. Like I really live and breathe sunscreen. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
So my favorite sunscreens, as we already said, have 10% zinc in them. And there's a bunch out there that I can recommend wholeheartedly. Supergoop makes some fantastic mineral sunscreens.
Okay. Oh, so you're into the mineral.
So, and yes, you and I are going to fight over this now, Amber. So the mineral sunscreens by Supergoop are fantastic. They have more than 10% zinc. They have multiple different options. They have one that's called a CC cream that they just relaunched that has 12 different colors. So it really is like a foundation. It provides great coverage with really good sun protection. They have a lightweight one called Sunscreen that comes out like a pink color, which is actually what I wear most days because it doesn't provide any coverage. So it doesn't make you look white or tan. And I'm so pale. Right. I like that. They have a kid one called Play. That's an avocado oil based zinc one that I love for my kids. I do not like chemical sunscreen. And chemical sunscreen, for it to work, you have to apply it. It has to have a half an hour to penetrate into your skin. And then as soon as you go out into the sun, it starts to break down. So you have to reapply it at least every 2 hours. And we now have multiple studies showing that we absorb more of it than we thought we did. You have to cover your entire body with it. And it's in our blood. It's in our urine. Does it cause cancer? No one's saying that yet, but we are exposing ourselves to much higher amounts than the FDA ever thought we were going to. And it doesn't work as well. It doesn't protect you from brown. It doesn't protect you from UVA as well. So why not use something that A, works better and is safer?
So their unseen sunscreen, you're not a fan.
Not my bag. It's better than nothing. Fundamentally, I am a purist.
Yeah, but you know what? No, because I'm like obsessed with sunscreen, and this is like what I've been preaching. Because even like when I'm going out, sometimes I can get my husband to do this, and because a lot of them, they really do leave a white cast.
Totally.
So okay, but
the ones I just listed don't, and like
they don't. Well, I love Supergoop.
Supergoop does a beautiful job. Holly is really an inspirational woman. I'm super impressed by her. And their sunscreens are, and if you go to her website and you go down, there's a drop down area under mineral and anything in there you should play with. And I talk about sunscreen like jeans. Like you need lots of different pairs. You got to try them on. And then when you find your favorite, you don't want to leave the house without it on. Like it really does work for you. And I think when people are like, I hate sunscreen, I'm like, you haven't found the right one. Let me help you find the right one, right? Like there are good ones out there. There weren't before. And like everyone always is talking about Elta MD. Elta MD sunscreen hit the market like 8-10 years ago and really did push cosmetically elegant sunscreen in the right direction, but they're not the best ones on the market anymore. No, I'm not.
There's nothing wrong if you like it.
No.
But for me, I don't love it. I don't love the smell. I don't love the consistency. I don't love the cast. What about for body?
So before we go to body, a couple other ones. DermaQuest makes great sunscreen for the face.
Okay.
It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. One that's gotten a lot of press recently is something called Skintegrity, which also is a really good one for the face. And then there's this company out of Spain called Erythritona actinica. The company is actually called Isden, and they make a really good, like light milk-like liquid sunscreen that comes in white and comes in tinted.
Right.
And that's also a fantastic one. And it's such a lightweight, it's pretty popular with the men. So those are my top favorites for face sunscreen.
Okay.
And then so I break down sunscreen. I actually try to talk about a sunscreen wardrobe. So I like a sunscreen for my face. I like a sunscreen for my neck and chest. My neck and chest sunscreen is not tinted because I don't want my makeup I don't want it to get on my clothes and stuff. So I actually use a tinted sunscreen on my face. I use a plain white sunscreen on my neck and chest. And then I have a water resistant sunscreen for my body for when I'm actually going to be out like playing in the pool with the kids.
Right.
So for my body, for my neck and chest, I oftentimes use a face sunscreen that's just white. So I'll use the DermaQuest white. And it's just a little bit more cosmetically elegant. Mm-hmm. For my body, the two products I like the most is actually the Isden erythritona actinica, and it comes in a relatively big bottle. I think it's 4 ounces, and it's water resistant, and it's just easy to get in. Like it's like milk, so it massages in really, really quickly. There is a spray sunscreen that's zinc based, made by a company called Replenix. Super easy to put on. My kids don't fight me. Like it's just it's a spray, but it's not aerosol, it's a pump, and that also is water resistant. Goes on, and you can't see it.
So on that, I just want to throw this out there. So I was a child who was an idiot and went to tanning salons and did all the things that you weren't supposed to do. And I wish I could say I didn't know it was bad, but I did. It was just at that point in my life, I didn't care. This was like my teenage years. But I have, and luckily I've had some moles removed, and luckily nothing's been too bad, but right down the string, almost like along my spine. And my dermatologist pointed out smartly, he's like, you know what, Amber, that's the only, because I said, well, why don't I have them everywhere? Is it just from if I went tanning? Was it because I was laying on my back? He said, no, it's because your back right here is the one place that you can't reach to put sunscreen on. And so probably, yes, it didn't help that I was lying in those tanning beds, but that it's also just like the rest of the sun exposure in my life, and not being able to do that. So the sprays I like because you can kind of get yourself.
You can get yourself. And like, honestly, I know that it wasn't cool, but now it's so common. Just get the damn rash guards. There are cute ones out there now. Totally. And you can wear your cute little bikini and like, there's now some that are cropped that are sexy. Like there's some great options, but if you can wear a long sleeve, high neck swim top with like your cute bathing suit and you can preserve your neckline here, you're going to be thanking yourself forever. So like,
that's
I'm
like
not
my mother.
When the sun's out, I'm in a bikini, like maybe at 9 o'clock at night drinking a cocktail. But like if I'm swimming in the water at 2, I'm going to be covered up because I want to protect this. Like this is some valuable landscape here, between my neck and my chest, and that's covered from the sun.
I mean, honey, I've got tens of thousands of dollars invested right here too. So you're telling me,
you got to protect, exactly.
And you got to protect. You got to protect this.
Protect this. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I love that we just like went off on like a sunscreen because I feel like I always tell people, skin cancer is so preventable. And sunscreen is now so easy to incorporate. I'm kind of bummed about the one super goop, but I'm going to try the other ones that you recommended because I know that
there's powder sunscreen. So we didn't even get there yet, but that's also for your neck and chest, is that there's at least 4 different companies that make great powder sunscreen. Color Science, Supergoop, Brush on Block, Isden has one, and those are zinc-based powder sunscreens, and you can put them on your part, you can put it on your husband who has a bald spot, you can put them on your neck and chest, and that just makes it easier to reapply during the day because you put your sunscreen on, then you put your makeup on, and you don't want to get greasy at 1, but you're going out to lunch, just powder. And like my purse, my bag, my car, like everywhere I go, I have a powder sunscreen, and that way I'm just never caught without it.
That's so smart. I love it. And Supergoop, I know, also has, I don't know if it's mineral though, but they've got like a refresher spray.
Not mineral.
Not mineral. Okay. No.
But I mean, but like I do
something's better than nothing.
Exactly. I want people to use sunscreen. Anything's better than nothing. Don't, because you've tried one zinc-based sunscreen, mean that all sunscreens are bad. Like there's a lot of good zinc-based sunscreens and they keep getting better. So I think that's the other important thing is keep trying. Just because you tried on one pair of jeans and they didn't fit doesn't mean you aren't going to find the right pair. And then the last tip I have is that there are RIT. Do you remember RIT? Did you ever like dye your jeans black when you were like 12 or 15 years old? Like RIT dye.
It's like the blue dye, or you black, but it's like really blue. Yeah.
Really blue. So RIT dye has a RIT sun protection that you can actually wash into your clothes. So at the beginning of summer or before I go on a sunny trip with my family, you just put your clothes, the water has to be at least warm, and you put in the thing of the RIT sun protector. It's called RIT Sun Guard. You can buy it on Amazon. and you wash everything in there. And then that white t-shirt that used to have an SPF of like 4 to 8 now has an SPF of 30. So it just gives you that added protection.
And does it damage any of the clothes? I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to put like your silks in there, but like t-shirts and jeans and all the stuff that you wear in the summer anyway?
Exactly. All those things that are like lightweight and cute, but provide no sun protection by themselves, you just wash it in and you're good to go.
That's an amazing tip. I can't believe that nobody in the history of my life has ever pointed that out. When I've done so many things on sunscreen, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
hang out with SPF lady right here, baby.
I love it. Love, love, love SPF lady. Okay. So I feel like we have thoroughly covered, step one in your skincare, which is protecting your skin. Yep. Step two.
Serum. Yep. An antioxidant serum. And so everyone in the morning should get up. If your face is oily and you want to splash your face with water, great. You don't need to wash your face in the morning. You haven't done anything to it at night. Like if you have really oily skin, fine, wash your face. Otherwise, don't. Get up. I splash my face with water mostly just to wake myself up. Then the very first thing you should do is put a serum that has vitamin C in it on your bare skin. And the whole point is it needs to be formulated well enough that it actually can penetrate the skin and get into your active living keratinocytes to protect your skin from free radicals. So what is an antioxidant? The most well-studied one is vitamin C. Mm-hmm. And so this all came out from SkinCeuticals about 15 years ago, where they launched their first vitamin C serum. And they did studies to show that if you use that every day, you made less brown. Your collagen broke down more slowly. And that's actually what launched this whole serum like phenomena where everyone is always talking about a serum. 95% of serums don't do anything, but a very small percentage of them who are well formulated really do protect your skin from the world in a way different than sunscreen. So every morning I put on an antioxidant serum on my naked skin that has at least 10% vitamin C in it. Vitamin C is unstable, so it has to be stabilized by different things. It can be ferulic acid, it can be a few other things, but it has to be something that's well formulated. And the way I talk about vitamin C serum or antioxidant serums is that there's two groups. There's groups that have data to support them. So there have been studies and they work and they're expensive, $150 and more.
Right.
And then there's serums that have maybe some vitamin C in them and look like they're pretty well formulated, but been never tested. And those are usually under $100. You should never spend over $150 on a vitamin C serum that hasn't been tested.
When you're talking about unstable, I just want to clarify this for people. So being unstable means that it will oxidize. Vitamin C will oxidize. And when it turns brown, that's when you know it's no longer good. So if that serum has turned a dark brown, if it starts with a white and then by the end it's brown, I don't care how expensive it was. If you keep putting it on your face, it's not doing anything, correct?
You're exactly right. And that's my issue with the SkinCeuticals droppers is that those are not airtight. Right. And so when you buy it and it's it's like $200 now. It's like $198. It's a dropper. So if you knock it, it will spill, which A, makes you cry. But also B, there's no way to control the amount of oxygen that vitamin C is being exposed to. So it does oxidize more quickly. So you get it, it's a light tan, and then you'll actually see it go from light tan to dark brown. And what that means is that vitamin C is losing its ability to absorb those free radicals that you need it to do. And so it's not going to work for you.
Right. Are you familiar with a company called Beauty Stat?
Beauty Step, I'm not.
Beauty Stat.
Beauty Stat. Oh wait, it's where you like log in. It's a subscription service, right?
It was, I guess it started as a blog. It's funny, just on one of the New Beauty Lives that we did, we interviewed this cosmetic chemist who created this vitamin C that now is his own. And it, I've tried it.
It's 20% sort of vitamin C. So that's 20%. Good.
And he claims that everything that he has found a way, and I guess he used to formulate for a lot of big brands, and decided to do his own thing. And 20% vitamin C. When you put it on, you feel it. It has a sting, but nothing bad. But yeah, he claims that it is, he's found a way to make it last from the first pump to the last pump, that it won't change color. So
that's true. Vitamin C can be stabilized. The lipid form of it is more stable than some of the other forms. And The other thing that's interesting is vitamin C, as you just talked about, is an ascorbic acid. It's an
Right.
acid. So you do feel it. And if it's not correctly formulated, or if it's too high of a percentage and you have sensitive skin, it's going to activate you. So if
Right.
you're going through a period where your skin is revved up or it's raw from wearing a mask or whatever it is, putting vitamin C isn't going to help. It's actually
Right.
going to hurt. So vitamin C is great when your skin is healthy and can use good ingredients. Vitamin C can be irritating if your skin isn't in its healthy place. And I do have vitamin C serums I recommend for everyone. I have vitamin C serums I recommend for princess skin because some people just can't tolerate some forms of vitamin C. And so you need the more gentle forms.
Love it. Okay. So we've got vitamin C covered. So let's go
Yeah.
through some of the brands that you like.
So my favorite antioxidant serum is Alto by Skin Better.
Okay.
And it's amazing. It's won a whole bunch of awards. It actually is safe even for my princess skin people. It's $150. The problem with it, it's only available in doctor's offices, or you can buy it on their website if you know the dermatologist who's recommending it. So, for example, if your listeners wanted to buy it, they would have to say that they're my patient when they bought it on Skin Better. But to me, it's really up the game. It's an airless pump. It's a really beautiful formulation. It helps with red. It helps with brown. So that's the one I try to get everyone to use.
Okay.
If you have sensitive skin and you don't have a lot of money to spend, Avene makes a great one. That's like $40. It's available over the counter. If you have, less sensitive skin, there's a whole bunch of different ones out there, like Mad Hippie. Like there's all these sort of ones that
Hmm.
you can buy in the $50 price point, which have more than 10% vitamin C in them. A lot of them are knockoffs of SkinCeuticals CNE Ferulic, which is a great product. I think it smells like hot dogs and it's in the dropper,
Hmm.
which I have an issue with. But they do deserve to shout out because they are the ones who did this research. They're the ones who showed us that the vitamin C serum actually does something.
I've heard though that like ferulic acid is like maybe now there's better ways to stabilize vitamin
Yeah.
C.
Yeah, there are. So ferulic acid was the first one used, but
Hmm.
now we have so many different forms of vitamin C, you don't need the ferulic acid as much.
Right.
Other people are sensitized by vitamin E. Vitamin E is an antioxidant, but a lot of people are irritated by it. For people who are looking for like a better price point, Paula's Choice has actually a number of different options for a number of different skin types, but that oftentimes irritates my more sensitive skin
Right.
individuals.
And if you're willing to deal with a little bit of this, look, I'm going to follow up because this one beauty stat, I'm
Yeah.
liking it so far. I'm liking
Yeah,
it,
I
and
want to try
he,
it. I mean, I'm on the website right now, and it's got a lot of very good reviews. But the ingredient list looks impressive, and it
well,
really
but also
is,
clinical. He did like clinical studies, and as he's a cosmetic chemist who created this. So, um,
and it's
I'd
80
love,
bucks for 1 ounce, which actually
yeah,
isn't that bad for an antioxidant.
yeah.
So the before and after pictures on the website are impressive.
Okay, so let's talk about our nighttime routine. Well, actually, no. Let's talk about moisturizer really quick because I know you have a fabulous one, and you've got some really interesting thoughts on what should be in a moisturizer. Can you, or maybe is it more important to know what shouldn't be? Can
Well,
we touch
so
on that lightly?
yeah, let's talk about both these things. So I made skincare products because I wasn't happy with what was out there because I think that there's too many things. I am the one person in this world who's actually trying to make as few products as possible and have people use the same product for multiple different things. Like my
Right,
face cream, you can use as your eye cream. You don't need two different products. So
right.
I'm like this lone world of like, let's simplify and maximize. But in general, you want a face cream that is going to hydrate your skin. Most face creams do not need to have oil in them. There's a couple of different ingredients that are really good for your skin. One in particular is squalene, and
Hmm.
squalene is a plant based fat that matches the fat that your skin makes almost identically. So it just doesn't irritate, doesn't accumulate. Your body knows how to process it. So it's a wonderful way to provide some fatty acids for your skin. I also like my ingredients to help maintain the skin barrier because the skin barrier just gets attacked all the time by dry air, by makeup, by you washing your face. So you just want to support the skin and maintaining its pH. So you just don't want ingredients that are going to elevate the skin's pH because it's going to change your skin barrier. And you want things that are really soothing and calming to the skin so the skin doesn't activate its inflammatory pathways, also changing the pH of your skin. So something like niacinamide. Niacinamide is vitamin B3. It's a beautiful ingredient that your skin knows what to do with, and it calms the skin. Centella asiatica. It's another calming ingredient that just keeps your skin from revving itself up, from being confused by all of the things you throw at it. So to me, your moisturizer should just be a check plus, right? It just should provide some hydration. It doesn't need to be powerful anti-aging. It doesn't need to be powerful sun protection. It's there primarily to keep your skin from drying out throughout the day. And that's it. You're using your treatments for your anti-aging. Like, you don't need a cream that's a miracle cream that does everything.
Can I ask, why don't you have a vitamin C?
Well, so I don't, because I think there's good ones out there. Like,
Fair.
I'm actually not trying to saturate the market. I just want
Gotcha.
there to be good options in everything. And I do think that the science behind vitamin C is pretty impressive. And I don't have $1 billion to spend in the lab figuring this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. And it's
Get
like
it, right?
notoriously unstable. So, okay.
Oh,
In terms of niacinamide,
mhm.
is that, but that and vitamin C, I heard once, are not, there's no issue.
Fine. There's no
Okay,
issue.
got it. Okay.
So exactly, like there's a concern that one's acidic, and so, but they both are great. They play nice together. You don't have to worry about that. And that's what makes me so angry about the lay press. Is like, fundamentally they're making this so much more complicated than it is. Like, vitamin C is great. Niacinamide is great. It's fine if you put them on at the same time.
So the last thing for the evening routine really is some sort of something to increase cell turnover, right? Like a tretinoin or a fruit acid or alpha hydroxy acid or
Exactly. So there's
BHAs.
two main points in the evening. You need to wash your face because you have makeup, you have the day's grime, you have pollution, you have all of this stuff. So that's when washing your face is so important. You need to sort of give your face a reset so that then it can spend the whole evening just correcting what happened. So the morning's about protection, the evening is about correction. So at night, you wash your face, you dry your face, and then that's your opportunity. That's when, if you're going to do a charcoal mask, if you're going to do your fruit acid peel, if you're going to do your tretinoin, that's when you do it. I think people do themselves an injustice where they're like, do a acid face wash and then a peel and then a mask, and like, that's way too much for your skin. You're just pissing your skin off. Like, don't do that. Pick one thing, and if you have oily skin, it could be a pretty strong thing. Maybe it's a 30% glycolic acid thing, but fundamentally you don't need 8 different steps that are doing the same thing. It's just going to dry you out and irritate your skin. So you wash your face with a gentle cleanser that needs to take out your makeup. And then you do your treatment. And that treatment could be glycolic acid. It could be salicylic acid. It could be tretinoin. Studies show the thing that does the most for your skin is tretinoin. So I want people to use tretinoin as many nights a week as they can. And I want you to use it from your hairline to your nipples. Like, we have to treat this skin like our face, and we don't. So you have to put your tretinoin on your face, neck, and chest as many nights a week as you can, so all of the skin is getting that great, turnover. At night, on myself, I use tretinoin on my face, neck, and chest as many nights a week as I can. I can't do it every night. And then on my arms and on my legs, I use a body moisturizer that has 10% glycolic acid in it to promote cell turnover. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to keep my skin in shape by promoting cell turnover. Every decade, our cell turnover slows down. So when you're 20, it's 20 days for your skin to replace itself. By the time you're 40, it's 60 days. By the time you're 60, it's 120 days. So you have to keep it in shape. You have to keep whipping it. Be like, no, you're turning over. You're turning over. And that's what the tretinoin does. That's what the glycolic acid does. But after you put that on, your body needs a moisturizer. It's got to be hydrated to be able to turn over, because if not, you're going to lose that important water. And that's where the moisturizer comes in again.
Right. And your moisturizer is great because it's formulated with all of the good stuff and none of the bad. Seriously, you made this, and
great.
I know you don't want to brag about yours, but like, look at your skin. So, you mentioned though a body lotion with because I was like, man, how is she doing? Like, what is she doing? Like little cotton pads with no. So, what is that body lotion?
So you mean it could be as easy as amlactin, right?
Okay.
That's lactic acid. It doesn't smell good. It's over the counter. That is a good one. Glytone makes a great one.
Glytone.
Yeah,
they make a really good facial, by the way, face mineral sunscreen.
Yep.
It's not a zero cast, but the cast goes away quickly. Like I tried it and was like, oh no, there's still white, but then it doesn't. It actually goes away. So that was a good one for face too.
Yep. And they do. And then I sell in my office tretinoin literally by the 8 ounces for people so that they can just smear their body with it. I just can't even tolerate that because it dries me out. So I can only do that a couple days a week. The rest of the time. And so on the days, if you shave your legs, these acids will burn. But if there are
Right.
days you haven't shaved, putting that on, and what you'll notice is when you touch yourself or your loved one touches you, your skin feels so much smoother. It feels like it did when you were 18 because it's not rough, because that glycolic acid actually eats the natural moisturizing factor, which is the mortar that holds the dead skins like onto your skin. So it gobbles that up. So all those dead skin cells leave, and then you have this beautiful soft skin, and it doesn't look crepey and it feels better. So like you just got to put the work in.
It's baby. But you know what? I love this because it's not that much work. At the end of the day,
Not
we're
that much.
talking about 3 products in the morning and 3 at night, right?
Yep.
You had your 2 recap.
2 weeks
In the morning, we have vitamin C, moisturizer, sunscreen. And at night, face wash, some sort of heavy duty treatment, and a moisturizer. Boom.
That's it. That's
So
all
really,
you
it's only 5 products that you need because moisturizer is
the same.
now. Wait, so you spill the tea though. What body lotion do you use?
So I use mine, but
Oh,
mine's
okay.
not available to you yet. So I
No.
have made a body alpha hydroxy acid lotion that is kind of amazing. And like my manufacturer, exactly, my manufacturer is like laughing at me because I can't, like I use it so much because I'm obsessed with it. So coming out soon, I have
Yay!
my whole point with my skincare regimen is exactly what you said, is like, this is easy. You really only need a few things. You need a face wash. You need a face moisturizer that you can use around your eyes. You need a body wash that you can shave your legs with or shave your face with. And then you need a body moisturizer. And then you need something to exfoliate your face. And you need something to exfoliate your body. That's all you need. And then
That's it.
every 3 to 6 months, go buy the new hot vitamin C serum or the new hot peptide, whatever, and enjoy that. And that's what you can feel good about spending the money on, or get your IPL. But don't spend tens of thousands of dollars on these products that are actually only going to irritate your skin and make you age faster because your skin's been irritated. And this is what we have been sold by the beauty industry. And I'm like literally single-handedly trying to correct it.
I love you. I'm going to just say it's like major goal crush, but also just from a professional standpoint, I so respect you. I love that you came on the show again. I just so believe in everything that you are telling us. I've tried your products. I think they are wonderful. And I love that you're just really honest. We're not putting any other thing down. I mean, look, if you looked into I swear my beauty cabinet rivals like the Glamour or the what was the big one? The Condé Nast closet,
Yeah.
right? The Vogue beauty
Right.
closet. Like
Yep.
mine's up there. I've got so many different things that I love to try and play around with, but I love that you've kind of simplified this for us because look, times especially now, we got to be saving a little bit of money.
But also, I think so often people are like, oh, my face is misbehaving. And I
Yeah.
have all of these things in my cupboard, and I'm just going to keep throwing things on my face, expecting that to fix it. Your body can fix it. Like,
Right.
just stop contributing to the problem. Put a good moisturizer, put some Restore face cream on there, and
Yeah.
go to bed, and you're going to be so much better the next day. And people instead are like masks and peels and exfoliating and scrubbing, and all of that just makes it harder for your skin to do what it needs to do.
So can I tell you? So my husband plays baseball, and there's nicks, there's cuts, there's this, there's that. So the Restore has become a very popular, and it's great on my lips. It's so good on the lips at night. But it's become a very
Ooh, and I have a lip. This is coming out too.
whoa. This is new.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Pretty
Love it. Okay.
exciting.
Thank you so, so, so much, Dr. Rogers. For people at home, tell them where they can find you.
So I am Dr. Rogers is my Instagram handle for my skincare company and any medical questions. Every week I do a weekly sort of talk about Ask Dr. Rogers. This week I just did how to undo summer's damage. And I talk about all the different lasering you can do to clean up your sun damage. So Dr. Rogers with doctor spelled out is the easiest way to get a hold of me. I'm a practicing dermatologist in Seattle at Modern Dermatology.
And you can get her stuff at drrogers.com. I love this line. It's very affordable and it looks so chic in the bathroom. The
very
packaging
androgynous.
is stunning.
It's very exactly.
Thank you so much again for being on with us. And of course, if you guys have any questions you want us to pass along, I'm happy to do that. You can write to me at hello@artbeautypodcast.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and of course, YouTube at Art Beauty Podcast. And as always, we will see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.